The first thing you're going to want to do is leave yourself a drink in the vehicle for when you get back. Usually I use a cooler, but in this case, I just had half a bottle of water. Now, let's go on an adventure, and I'm going to show you a bunch of free things that you can do to have an even better time in the backcountry. Let's hang out with some friends too, see if I can find them. I think they're on down the creek. I think I already see them over here. Woo, 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 woo. I arrived late after work, so I got set up. We made a campfire, ate some delicious food, and hung out with some awesome friends.
Good morning, everybody. It's the next day, had a good night's sleep here in the Duplex XL, and the next thing that you can do to help have a better trip that's absolutely free is properly pack your backpack. And I'll link a video above of how to do that, but I'm kind of packing up some loose ends here. That way everything is ready to go and I can put it in my backpack with the most dense and heavy stuff against my back, as you can see from this diagram. But we're about to eat some breakfast and head up to our first arch of the day, Castle Arch.
We went straight uphill and through a bunch of rhododendrons, a little bit of rock scrambling, but reached the arch. The arch is above me. I'll show you a view a little better. And this is the view behind me. Man, this gorge sure is beautiful. Now we're up on top of the arch and it opens up into this absolutely gorgeous gorge. After leaving Castle Arch, we headed back to the vehicle to get rehydrated and then drive to the next location to keep arch hunting. Another free thing that you can do to help have a better trip while you're backpacking is start pre-hydrating a few days before. If you're like me, you probably waited to the last minute though, so that's where today's video sponsor comes in, Element. I'm gonna let Matt here pick out a flavor. We got a couple spicy ones, mango chili and lemon habanero. Got chocolate salt, watermelon salt, orange salt, raw unflavored, and raspberry salt and citrus salt. And they're all in here in a sample pack, which you can get with any order that you place today. But I suggest you go through my link, which is drinkelement.com/Jeremiah, and pick you out some flavors, get you hydrated. There's no BS in there. All it has is sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Thank you, Element, for making this trip possible. drinklmnt.com/Jeremiah. My link is in the description box below. Click it today and get hydrated. Now back to the adventure. We're actually on top of Whistling Arch right now, and yet again another amazing view. What a great day of backpacking. After some exploring around Whistling Arch, we had to climb down that big fallen tree that you just saw, and we headed over to Angel Windows. Angel Window 1, Angel Window 2. Very beautiful.
Angel number 3.
Yeah, this is really cool. Arch hunting, this is a lot of fun. Angel Windows was absolutely beautiful, but we were getting hungry. The next free thing that you could do is save your grape jellies or jams or honeys that you get if you stop and get some breakfast. Of course, you got to pay for the breakfast, but you can get about as many of these as you want. I absolutely smashed my food, and after a short lunch break, it was on to the next arch. We're headed to Skyview Arch. We picked up a couple more in the crew, Brad and Mitch, and let's check this out and then head to camp. And off we went to find Skyview Arch off trail, but it was short-lived. Well, mission failed. We're backtracking right now to go back to the vehicle. It's running a little late in the day, and we didn't make it quite to the arch, but need to head on to camp, get through all this brush on an unofficial trail. Man, we are still quite a ways away from camp, and the storm clouds are rolling in. I have a good feeling that we're gonna get wet today. I'm hoping that somebody's got an extra tarp out there that we can hang out under, and I don't have to just hang in my tent. Our campsite was off trail as well, so we marched onward trying to beat the rain, walking through creeks and through the bush. Man, we are stuck under a tarp right now. It is pouring out here. Woo! Jason set up over there. We're all crowded under Sean's tarp, and man, is it pouring. Don't worry, the story has a happy ending, and I have more free things that you can try to make your backpacking trip better. In between two rainstorms, we had just enough time to make a fire and cook some food. I had some delicious jambalaya and a great night's rest in my tent.
It's the next morning and we survived the rain. Man, I wanted to share a couple more free things that you could do to make your backpacking trip better. Even though you can sleep great in the rain and in the tent on the pad, Make sure to get a good night's sleep the night before you head out on the trip, and trim your fingernails and toenails too. I have sacrificed a few pairs of socks just because my toenails are sharp and poked through.
I think I would call it mission success on the gear. I feel like I didn't forget anything, and that's because I started packing a couple of days before the trip started. If you wait till the last minute, oftentimes you'll forget something. You'll get out here and you'll be like, it's at the house. Look at the little fishies. I'm down at the creek because I wanted to tell you another free thing you can do is if you're bringing a drink anyway, whatever it may be, it could be beer, it could be a sports drink, Gatorade, whatever. If you have a creek nearby, a lot of times they're really cold. What you do is you just put your drink in the creek and let it cool it for you or keep it cold. Now you gotta be careful though, it will float away, so you may have to put a rock on top of it, and don't forget where it is. Otherwise your drink's gonna be cold, but it's never gonna make it to you.
And probably my favorite free thing is to go with friends as often as possible. I don't do a whole lot of solo, and I always have a fantastic time with friends just like these. So if you're like me, get out, head out into the backcountry, take some friends along with you and make the times even better.
Now we are gonna finish packing up and get out of this rainy, wet mess and get a shower.
Why don't you comment and let me know some other free things that we could add to the list that would help people have a better time in the woods. Man, this trip was absolutely awesome. Hunting the arches, hanging out with friends. Hope you get to do something like this soon.
And there she is waiting on me, just like I knew she would. My half bottle of water.
Thank you, Ava and Harper, for the amazing no-bake cookies.